All right, so it's your boy Cash Cut. I'm live with Colton Valentines.
What up?
What's good, man? Go ahead, talk to me, talk your shit.
My name is Colton Valentine. I'm living in San Antonio right now. Been painting some murals the past couple of years. Just doing my thing out here in San Antonio right now.
All right, talk about how it all started, because you got a couple murals. You went viral a couple times. You got the Talk about how that all started.
So basically, in like 2017, I started painting murals like once a month. I dedicated like every month I had to paint one mural. And then that was in Austin. So there was a graffiti park in Austin where you can practice and paint. And then they closed that down. And at the same time, Charles and Valerie, shout out Charles and Valerie, they reached out to me to paint a mural on their business Supreme Sports Bar. And then they were like, when you're done with this, you could paint whatever you want on this other wall right by the gas station. And that's where it all started. So like one time I was at work out of town in Dallas, and this is when Soulja Boy had his like hilarious interview. Some of it was factual, but yeah.
The Breakfast Club?
Yeah, that Breakfast Club interview. I was watching it at work and I was like, damn, like this shit's funny. In this moment, like I gotta like paint this. So I hit up Charles and I was like, yo, I'm gonna paint Soulja Boy on the side of that building just for fun. Literally just for fun. Like I paint, everything I paint is because I want to, and it's for fun. Try not to take it too serious. And so he was like, go ahead. You know, I painted the little thing with him saying Drake, and some people shared it. And then next thing you know, like World Star Hip Hop reached out to me and they were like, hey, we saw your painting. We want to know if we can repost it, blah, blah, blah. And Say Cheese reached out to me. Revolt, I think, reached out to me. A few people reached out, reposted.
Did they come with a check or anything?
I wish. I could say this though. Ever since World Star, I've been making more money off my art. Like the whole thing about like going viral, can it change your life or whatever? I think it can. And for me, I let it. I made sure that I made some more money off of that, you know, and just grew with it. And then, yeah, same thing. Like I painted Cardi B shortly after that. And that one got a lot of traction just because it was my first time attempting like a realistic style painting of a portrait of someone, you know, rather than like the cartoon two-dimensional stuff I was doing with Soulja Boy and stuff like that. And the Cardi B one was my first time trying something like that, so I was a little hesitant, but doing it large scale, like it just forced me to like grow a set and put out my work that I knew I was capable of doing this whole time. I've been painting cartoon stuff on walls, afraid of like getting out of my boundaries, you know, and the Cardi B pushed my boundaries as well as pushing like, I guess I want to say the boundaries of the culture in San Antonio too, you know. I think a part of the reason that went viral mostly was because of the controversy that was behind it. Just being Cardi B, coming from being a stripper, everything she did, not everyone in San Antonio was on board with it. So through social media interaction, all the negative and the positive just built it up to be something way bigger than me just painting something on the wall for fun, you know. That's what I saw from my perspective. And then it continued on with like Nipsey. That was something that meant a lot to me. So I just, like, again, I did that for me. It had nothing to do with anyone else not to be selfish, but you know, like, I'm just painting what I want. And that one for sure got traction, you know.
How long did that one take?
That one took me like 3 days, almost 4, I think. Cause again, I'm practicing. I'm still new to all this. So like I even got a lot of bullshit that it looked like James Harden on my second day of painting this Nipsey mural. And I didn't even pay that shit no mind. I just was like, all right, the next day I woke up like, I gotta finish this painting while the whole city's over here like commenting about, you know, how it don't look like him. So yeah, I spent a little extra time on it. It's like 3 to 4 days. And that's like sun up to sundown. But like when I paint at that gas station, a lot of people stop and talk to me. And I'm not gonna be like, oh, gotta paint, you know, fuck off. So I make sure I talk to everyone. get little kids coming up like, oh, like you motivated me to do this. Some kid showed me a painting of like Triple X that he did on his little phone, you know. I was like, all right, like this is a little bit bigger than me just doing what I'm doing, you know.
Starting all of them, did you think they were going to be as big as they were going to be?
Never, not once. Maybe, but like I always made sure I just stayed humble. It's funny because I was looking back on my Instagram and I used to tag World Star Hip Hop because I started doing comic book stuff. And then in the beginning, like I would do like Batman or some shit, and I would tag like all these big pages trying to go viral or whatever, you know, just to get the traction or whatever. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just having fun tagging people. And eventually I got over that. It was just a routinely thing to tag all these bigger pages and hopefully get shared, you know. And then it was so routine after 2 years of doing it over and over and over. I didn't think anything of it when Soulja Boy went viral. Dude, that was crazy. The whole week, every day I went on my phone. Every time I opened up my Instagram, it was like maxed out, like 99 likes, 99 comments, 99 messages, everything. Did not expect none of that shit at all. It was fun though, not gonna lie.
All right, and one of your paintings, somebody did try to sabotage your shit, right?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
So it was two. At the time, it was I had Soulja Boy painting up, and I think I had a maybe 21 Savage and Cardi B. And again, like I traveled for work, so I was out of town. And when I got back into town, I was gonna go paint Nipsey Hussle actually that same morning when I showed up. Two people had put their names, I'm not even gonna give them that time, but they put their names on over Cardi B and Soulja Boy, they tagged over it. Just some throwies, just bubble letters, people, you know, making their presence known. But coming from the world of graffiti, like I grew up tagging, you know, as a little kid, 14, 15, you know, in South Bay, Los Angeles area. It's just part of life. So you tag, you know, everybody has their beefs and their issues. You all tag over each other, you know, there's territorial things, all that shit, and I'm aware of that. So when I'm painting a mural of whatever caliber I'm doing, you know, I've just made sure that I don't let like all the politics get too far into it, because I'm doing artwork. I'm not doing graffiti. I'm not doing anything, you know, of vandalism. This is strictly for like viewing and for people to observe and, you know, check out. So when those two got mixed, I would just paint it over it and then moved on, because I can't get too far into that, you know.
Was art something you were always pursuing?
I guess I wouldn't say I was pursuing it, but like I've been doing art since I was a kid. My father's been good at artwork. I had an aunt that like was phenomenal at doing paintings and shit. So I've always been drawing and just doing shit. And it's actually like, I remember one time I used to draw on hats and do graffiti letters on hats and sell them, and, you know, so I was always making money with art, but I never pursued it like recently. It was like, again, 2017. It was actually my great aunt. She was just like, yo, like, you got talent? Like, what are you doing, wasting your life away with this? Like, I got a great job. I'm happy with what I'm doing. You know, I have enough going on. But she was just like, dude, you got talent. Like, what are you doing with yourself? You know, you're going to regret not doing anything with it. So that's when I was like, all right, I'm definitely going to start pursuing this. And then 2 years later or whatever, 2018, it was 2018, right? When World Star, all that happened? Yeah. So, yeah, like, you know, that's when I started taking it serious. I was like, okay, if this can happen, I just saw like what I can do with, you know, all of this, and I was like, all right, it's definitely worth taking serious, you know. But I haven't always pursued it.
So you weren't in like taking art classes or anything like that?
Nah. So like in high school, I remember taking art class and shit, you know, like the typical class you always have to take, you know. I did good in it, you know. Obviously I was all right. The teachers were like, oh, you're good, like, you know how to draw, like, you could just chill. I don't know, I guess it was just a little talent. Like when I actually had my step grandpa bought me like a fucking Bob Ross setup. You know how like you could do tutorials of Bob Ross and like follow along with him. he bought me that, and like I would watch the videos, and I attempted to do some paintings, but I ended up using the paint, the acrylic paint that you're supposed to use on a canvas. Like I was like 15 at the time, so I used all that paint to tag my name on the cement around my town and my hood and shit. So like, you know, it's kind of weird how like the art has always been there, like encouraging, but never really took it, you know.
So what were you trying to be before?
I don't even know. Like I've always like been making moves since I was a kid. Like I've always trapped, and like I've never been broke, but I wanted to be a BMXer. I was really good. Like I've been into like sports and shit. So like I picked up a bicycle, and I would just be at the skate park. That's how I got like involved with all the hip hop and everything. Like I was just out on the streets all the time on my BMX bike in the LA area. And I was actually really good, like good enough where I was going to be in like this Woodward. Woodward is like a camp where you go to train, and like it's the next step before X Games and all that kind of stuff. So I was like doing backflips, tail whips and stuff on my BMX bike, thinking like, all right, I could do this, you know. And then that's literally what I wanted to do from like 16 and on. Like I always had art and tagging and shit, but like I was just really good on a BMX bike, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go pro. Like that was my goal. Everything was set on it. Like no one could tell me nothing about getting a job. I was like, nah, I'm gonna go pro on this BMX bike. And I tore my ACL, so I gave up on that. And then so I'm right back to like no goals, no major ambitions, you know, always making moves though, always making money. But yeah, nothing crazy. I did want to go to school for biochem because I like to make like certain things and stuff, you know, but never really took anything too serious, yeah. So it was just some bullshit with my pops, and he kicked me out, and I couldn't necessarily just go back to Southern California where I was raised, you know. So I was just doing my thing. Like in Northern California, there's a lot of marijuana growing and a lot of stuff like that. I lived in the Mendocino Triangle, which is where some of the best weed is grown. So all the time I was living up there, I was making connections, living on farms, just growing trees and stuff. So I was homeless, but I wasn't really like homeless, you know. Like I was just living in hotels, doing my thing, making moves. But that was a time where I was like, I actually remember one night where I was like almost done, broke, and I was like, fuck, there's a bench right there, like I could go sleep on that shit and just be chilling, like I'll be, you know, good. But I was like, nah, fuck that, like go make some money, go make some plays. And I don't know, like from there, it's so crazy how the world works. The next day, like one of my homies was like, yo, I know this lady, you know, she's got her own little farm operation. She wants a mural inside of her house. And I was like, all right, for sure. She'll pay you in weed and everything. I was like, all right, cool. So I did a little mural. This is at like 18 or 19. The very first time I realized like, all right, I could do something with artwork, or even just myself for self-confidence, you know. But yeah, I painted this mural for her, got a bunch of pounds of weed, went down south, did what I had to do, and then, you know, that was the little homeless period that I went through. It wasn't too rough.
All right, and behind us we got the Erykah Badu painting by you.
Yes,
what was
sir.
the inspiration behind that?
Just her in general. I had came across her Instagram post. This is basically a picture off Instagram that I had come across, and I researched the grill. It's Maat, M-A-A-T, and it's like this goddess that represents justice and, you know, unity of people and all that. And I was just like, man, like, I think this is something that people need right now, you know, through everything that's going on in this world and all the little cultural bullshit. Just really wanted to make sure that, like, she was put up there on the pedestal still, you know.
So does a lot of music influence your art?
I'd say so. For as of recently, yes. Like again, like I started doing the comic book stuff. Damn, and even in that, it does. Cause even like the very first thing I painted in Austin, it was just a picture of Bart Simpson with that pink like suit on, and I use Cameron lyrics. I've never been to Sesame Street, but I could flip a big bird. So yeah, I guess hip hop's been, all that music's been a big part of what I do every time I paint something.
All right. Do you have any big projects coming up? I know you did mention something with Freddie Gibbs.
So I don't even know if I could talk about that. I guess with Freddie Gibbs, I've been working with him. I'm finalizing the mural setup right now and just doing all the details with him. I got some stuff I'm working on with Chick-fil-A. That's all I can say, really. Yeah, I've done some things for Chick-fil-A, and I got another project going on with them. And low key, like Six Flags hit me up. I got something in the works with them that all this stuff, like I don't post on my social media. I'm not really allowed to talk about it. But those are like the big projects that I got going on that like so from World Star Hip Hop posting my artwork, you know, fast forward to right now, I definitely would not have had no Chick-fil-A gig or, you know, Six Flags reaching out to me. I mean, eventually I probably would have, because I'm always going to be this consistent with my work ethic. I will always put in the work, you know, and I know it's going to pay off, but kind of paid off real quick. And yeah, those are like the most like exciting projects I got right now.
All right, so explain the process of how you did the painting behind you. Like, did you outline everything, or did you just freehand spray paint everything?
For this one, let me think, because I try new techniques every time I paint something. Like, there's always something new I can learn. So for this one, I think I actually drew her freehand. Like, I got my phone. I just wanted to test my skills again to see if I could use a pencil and draw some shit on a canvas. So like I got the Instagram picture and put those like all together, all the canvases blank white on my wall, and just drew that shit from my phone with the pencil. And then I went with my spray paint and just put in like the basic tones, you know, the basic colors of what her face should be. And then you go over with the details and like all that other stuff. But for this one, yeah, sometimes I've used like a projector for things. And some say that's cheating, but it really is just a way of doing things quicker. And then, but for stuff like this, it's just more authentic when you do it yourself. Sometimes it comes out better.
Do you do any like digital art or anything like that, or is just this type of art?
So I've been learning how to do digital artwork this whole time. Ever since World Star happened, like I had to pick up my pace on my growth, you know. So I've been learning. I basically learned how to do like all the little cartoon vector stuff on Illustrator and Procreate. I can do it all. I just don't have the time to like put all that out there and, you know, and showcase all that. But yeah.
All right, it's you watching Tribal Vision with Colton Valentine.
What up?
All right, so first I would like to ask, what were one of the main like controversies that you faced going throughout your entire artistry? Like everything that you actually like really like, what was the one thing that really made you feel like, you know what, yeah, this is my stepping stone?
Damn. I'm gonna go with that Cardi B painting. I painted a mural of Cardi B, and the backlash that came with that was like, I was getting messages every day, multiple messages, like this long, talking about like why I shouldn't have painted it and why, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I was still new to what I'm doing, so it really kind of shook me, I guess. I was like, all right, maybe I'm not doing something right here. And I went through a big battle for like a month of like, should I quit or whatever, you know, my emotional battle. But I fought through. I'm like, nah, hell no. Like, Cardi B is a bad bitch. Like, what the fuck? People just hating for no reason. They really don't know, you know, the depth of everything. And yeah, I just pushed through that. That was the main one that like kind of got me. And I was like, oh, like me just having fun on a wall can actually like do some bigger waves of like, you know, damage or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that one opened my eyes for sure, because I was like, man.
Does does all the influence and all the backlash that you've gotten from all the people that's actually seen everything, like I've seen some of the videos on your Instagram myself, and one of them was a little kid. He was doing the Soulja Boy dance in front of the dog on the Soulja Boy picture. Yeah. So like, fully well knowing and seeing things like that, does it open your eyes to let you tell you like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is my life.
It has. That kid is special to me. And then there was this other little girl who was rapping like almost bar for bar one of Cardi B's songs in front of the mural. And seeing those, one, outweighs all the negativity any day of the week. And two, it just makes me realize like, you know, again, I'm just doing this for myself. It's selfish. It seems weird, but like I paint for myself. I don't paint for anyone else. But the outcome of that, like, really is more powerful, I think, than me succumbing to everything else and trying to please anyone, you know, for what they want. So seeing little kids see me do that, I already know they're like, oh, like, I can do anything I want, you know. I've actually had some kids come up to me, like, straight up showing me their artwork that they did because of me, you know. I'm gonna just tell you this. One time someone messaged me and they were like, yo, I'm mostly blind. I'm like 90% blind, 80% blind. He was like, this is an adult too, like way off key, but like, he was like, I love your artwork, because I was doing superheroes and stuff. And he was like, yo, like, I have my wife go take pictures of your artwork, and then I have her bring it home and blow it up on the computer. And like, my blind ass will go look at your artwork through, you know, a magnification and all that. And that like almost made me tear up, because I was like, damn, like the impact is so much bigger than what I could ever think, you know. So yeah, that answers that.
Speaking of your artwork, what are some of the areas that you've actually put up some of your things on? I've actually seen that some of them are in Los Angeles, some of them are doggone downtown. I've actually seen personally like some of them downtown. The Snoopy one I like the most, and I saw the Flash one. Where did you actually do that one?
So Flash and the Snoopy, they were done on the same wall, but I think Flash is actually still like rocking. It's still up. It's in Austin at Castle Hill Graffiti Park. They shut the park down, but like it's just fenced off, and I still get people messaging me, like showing me pictures of Flash visible. But so since I travel for work though, I've actually been able to paint in North Carolina, just like nothing paid, no one pays me to do this. I found like a little legal spot, and I painted someone, who was it, Deadpool, in North Carolina for fun, just after work. And I was working in Tennessee one time, Knoxville, Tennessee, or Nashville, Knoxville. And I just do my research where I'm at. And this time I had some time off of work, you know, in Tennessee, and Dolly Parton lives near there. So I painted a mural of Dolly Parton in Tennessee. Just goes hand in hand. Those are the most that I've done besides what's here in San Antonio. And then I'm from Los Angeles area, so whenever I'm there, I'll try to like put in a little work, you know, but San Antonio is like where it's at right now.
How do you feel about have you ever gone through anything where it's like someone tried to make it seem like they made you, or they're the reason why you're in the position that you're in right now?
Yeah, for sure. That's something that like recently I've had to deal with, and I've come to the conclusion that like, you know, I'm on my own path. All the moves and choices that I make were from me within. So for anyone to ever say like, I taught you this, or you know, all that kind of stuff, and they deserve credit for any of that kind of stuff, you know, it's just bullshit to me. You know, since I was a little kid, I've been doing artwork, and I've had my talent, you know, and just everyone influences everyone. So there's no way for anyone to ever take claim to anything like that, you know. Everything that I've learned is from multiple sources. So it's been a battle though, and I think that's just something that comes with the growth, you know. I don't judge anything off of my following on Instagram, but other people might. And other people might think that because I have 11K followers that I should be making this amount of money, or I should be doing this type of work or whatever the case may be. That's their perspective. That's their perception on what needs to be done with that. I got 11K some followers, and I still do whatever the fuck I want to paint. Like, I'm not gonna, you know, change that up. I enjoy doing that, so that's just how I'm gonna keep rocking, because, you know, other people, they see things differently, and they might feel like, you know, they deserve credit for stuff, but I've been on my own path doing my own thing, you know. It's not gonna change.
I'd like to ask you about the fire that broke out behind the building on one of your murals. I actually saw that. Now, how did you feel knowing that your mural actually survived? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd have been like, what?
Dude, that was a wild morning. Man, like, I guess it was just a blessing. Like, part of me, when I woke up, I was like, damn, like, someone's really trying to sabotage me right now and, like, burn my shit down, because it's, like, at the point, it was pretty viral, you know, and I've heard some things about San Antonio not always, you know, being supportive. So I was like, all right, straight up, like, this is how it's coming today. Like, they're gonna burn my shit down. I heard it was bums trying to stay warm in the back, but I'm just thankful that it stayed, the building stayed up, and honestly, the way that whole thing worked out, it could not have been any better, because it was almost like God saying, like, yo, San Antonio, check this out, because it was on the, like, so the news was just broadcasting a building on fire. That was it. But it just so happened that there was Soulja Boy right there on the wall, you know, it just added to the chemistry of all that stuff going on, and I'm thankful that shit happened. Yeah, for sure.
How do you feel going forward? Like, 2020, what's this year going to bring out for Colton Valentines artists? And what do you have to say to all the young artists out there who have been influenced by what you're doing?
So 2020, I decided to slow my pace down, and instead of doing like one mural every month, and like, I go through a lot trying to make sure that I paint something every single month and be current, you know, up to date with a subject that's actually like worthy and relevant. So I'm gonna take the pace back on that and just focus on my skill, as well as just doing, I got some clients right now that are like on the corporate deal, so I gotta like focus on that, as well as just I'm gonna approach 2020, I've decided, with the scarcity type of tactic, where I used all 2019, I was like, in 2018, 2017, it was go, 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 put some out. And I feel like now I've reached a small stage where I can chill for a sec and just like let the people come to me in a way, or like, you know, like, I just went off social media for like 2 weeks, and then it's just one of those things where, like, when you I forget how they say it, but like when you go away from something, you know, that sometimes makes people want you more or whatever. So I forget the actual
hibernation.
Yeah, I forget the whole like terminology, but you know,
unreasonable.
Yeah, so if I'm gonna step away and just, people are gonna be like, where is this cat? Like, what's he doing? What's he up to? And then when I hit him with like,
and they always miss you when you're gone.
Something of quality, rather than just putting something up for the people and all that, you know, that's what 2020 is about. And for anybody that I have inspired, don't even take that the wrong way. Like, I'm chilling out, like, I'm not working. Trust me, every single day I'm training physically, mentally, to be the best person, the best artist that I can be. I'm not even that great, dude. There's artists in this world, like, with graffiti, with spray paint, that are insane, way better than me. Like, so I'm always trying to just be the best I can be. So if you're an artist that I've inspired, or anywhere of that sort, like, stay grinding. Do not stop hustling towards being the best you can be, you know. It'll pay off.
Oh, who are your artist inspirations? Like, who do you look up to as an artist?
That's a really good question. Like, so within like the art world itself, I guess I would say There's this guy, Royal Dog. He's like he's an Asian cat who does portraits of people. You know, he's really good. I look up to him a lot. And then like I've just grown up on like Salvador Dali and stuff like that, where it's just the surrealism stuff, but like with a good touch of realistic quality work. And then like mostly it's just like my father and my family that I know is really talented. I try to just channel that and use that to grow and like be the best, because I'm like, all right, they didn't do nothing with this talent that we have within our blood. I want to become something out of what we have, you know. So that's like my biggest inspiration is my people, so where I could just grow on that, you know. And then just the typical stuff like Obey, like obviously growing up, you know, Shepherd Ferry was all around. So just things like that, you know, I try to mix it all up.
When are we going to be seeing some Colton Valentine merchandise?
Man, that's just something I've been trying to work on for a minute. I think 2020, I'll have something eventually. It's just that I'm torn between like doing like some type of clothing or like prints, or even releasing like a weekly or monthly type of like art drop through like digital form, you know, or something. Between like my job, I have a pretty good job that I'm happy with, and I'm moving up, you know, growing, learning a lot of stuff. I'm focused on that a lot. And between that and I'm focused like a motherfucker on my art, like that's one of the primary things going on. Merchandise just tends to get like pushed to the back burner. I don't know, like what's funny is that with the following that I have, most people would look at me like I'm an idiot for not taking advantage of the following. But I don't know, I'm not like the money. First of all, this isn't about money to me. Like I like to just paint my artwork and just let it speak for itself. So the merchandise is always on the back burner, but I will get to it. Like I know people want some stuff, so I'll work on something. Yeah, I know everyone's been asking for something.
And my other question was, all right, so as everyone knows, Kobe just passed away, R.I.P. Kobe.
R.I.P. man.
Are we gonna be seeing a Kobe mural from you, man? Like, what's going on?
I legit still haven't decided. I don't know. I'm for sure gonna do a painting. It's gonna be something like this. I like doing these paintings because it really brings the focus into like, I want to say like the soul of like who these people are, you know. Like I recently finished Mac Miller in this style, and I installed that in my house, and when I go into my little office and I see that painting right there, it just does something to me. So for sure I'm painting a Kobe, like actual canvas painting setup this year, 2020. But the mural, man, so I'll even explain why I'm hesitant, and it's just because like I'm from Los Angeles area. Like I mean I was born in Northern California, and when I was 2, I'm living in Carson, California. From 2 to all the way, you know, back and forth, I've been there. So watching Kobe like go back to back on championships, you know, just watching all that shit, that means a lot to me. And dude, we're from the city of Los Angeles, so just having Kobe as our like man to look up to, you know, all that kind of stuff, it's deep. And then Nipsey too, like all that stuff is deep stuff that not everyone in this country outside of California necessarily understands. I'm sure there's plenty of people in San Antonio that fully understand what I'm talking about, but not everyone does. And for those people, let's say I go paint a Kobe mural and they want to disrespect it because he has some negative connotation on his name as a rape case or whatever, you know, all that stuff. That's the main reason I haven't even bothered looking into like the real estate of where I would do a Kobe mural, because I'm not about to waste my time or anyone else who cares about Kobe. I'm not going to waste their time and put something up to get disrespected. And San Antonio has already they've already shown, you know, where they stand with stuff. specifically with like character issues like that. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna get to a mural of Kobe eventually. I just can't say like when and how it's gonna go down, but for sure there's gonna be a painting.
Being from Los Angeles, California, and being someone who's actually like known a lot about, you know what I'm saying, like the games Kobe's played in, how do you feel about the response and like some of the things that were said on the Gayle King show? Man.
Dude, that shit is ridiculous though. Yeah, that's just all bullshit, you know. You gotta let Kobe's legend like be what it is, you know. You can't slander his name. And again, like people are bringing that up now. Like, what about a couple months ago? Y'all could have been talking about this. Like, there's no reason to just bring up something like that right now. Yeah, that's just all nonsense. Just pay no mind, because the man's a great individual on his own.
Where can we find you at?
So Instagram is just Colton_Valentine_. Facebook, Colton Valentine. I think my Twitter is Colt Valentine 45 or something like that. Yeah, basically those three things.
TikTok.
Oh yeah, dude, I got a TikTok, Colton Valentine. That shit's popping right now too. Go add a TikTok and add my shit, cause it's going up right now.